Hey, what's up, guys? So, got another figure to review. Obviously, as you can tell by the title, but um, might be a little unused to. I mean, not entirely unused to this background here. This is obviously the other place I live in. Um, just been a while since I've been able to get a figure while I'm over here. Um, and yeah, so this is started. I am reviewing today DC McFarlane Multiverse, the Black Adam movie, Black Adam figure. Here's the box. Got Black Adam and Black Adam gun on the side, Black Adam on this side, and a big old picture of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. And then here is Black Adam himself. Before I get into this, I did see Black Adam last night. I loved it. I absolutely adored it. I highly recommend it, and I'm definitely looking forward to more DC films. I won't talk about any of the spoilers or anything in here. If you want me to do a spoiler review, let me know down in the comments. Otherwise, I really like it, and can't wait to see what else is cooking. So, I guess we'll start off with the accessories. We'll do the usual first. He's got the good old DC McFarlane stand. Kind of wish he came with a fight stand, but whatever. And then you got the card with a picture of The Rock as Black Adam. And you got a bio that's used real name, Teth Adam. Hailed as a slave who became champion, the moral Teth Adam was bestowed the powers of gods, transforming into the fearsome, super-proud being at the utterance of a single magic word, Shazam. He freed his people from the king of Kahndaq before grief over the loss of his family turned to cold fury, and he was entombed for his vengeful actions. Nearly 5,000 years later, Black Adam is freed from his slumber and finds himself in a world he does not recognize. Now he must try to see himself not as Kahndaq's destroyer, but as savior. That actually does a pretty good job, I feel like, of summarizing him in both the movie and the comics. Obviously, there's probably some differences there, but Black Adam, to me, at least as long as I've known him, which has been before this movie, I've known him for a while, is a lot. I mean, he is probably like the textbook definition of an anti-hero, because not only does he not like work well with other heroes, he outright fights them sometimes. So, I mean, obviously, a lot of times he is the main villain of Shazam. And to me, he's kind of a Namor character where he's more in the interest of himself and his peoples, uh, whether that means good for the rest of the world or not. So a lot of times you'll see him ally himself with other villains. But yeah, basically he was banished for so many years. He was kind of the original Shazam. It's kind of interesting. Um, so there's that thought. He also has a son who has some of his powers. This is comic book stuff, so definitely cool. Hopefully I can get a Shazam figure. I know they did release a comic book Shazam, but I'm kind of slightly waiting. I want to see a review of that first, but also I want to wait for Shazam 2, Fury of the Gods. So, and also from what at least in the movie, I don't know if this is like this in the comics, but he seems to have been granted basically the same powers, but by a different set of gods. Whereas Shazam is kind of granted the powers of the gods in the terms of the Greek and Roman gods. So, but there is there's two more accessories, and I will get them off here. And by the way, I have them like they are because I wanted although you can also have him where he's like kind of shooting these little lightning effects out. I like the idea that he's like, he's like powering up. But, so here they are. They're really large. They're larger than I thought they were. I mean, I've seen reviews of this figure, and I didn't realize how big these were. So you've got that. They're pretty much, they're made out of the same plastic. They've got a slightly different design to them. But yeah, you can kind of have them. Now, you also have to kind of, so depending on how you have them match, you have to make sure that like they go on the correct arm. For example, this one, if you want to have it shooting out, it will work on this arm. But if you want to have it going in, you have to have it on this arm. Now, I won't leave it on here for the rest of the review. Obviously, you can kind of angle it to your degree. So, but yeah. So there's that. They did release 2 other versions of this figure. The other version had a hood, had a cloak and a hood. And I was gonna originally get that figure, but he did not come with any lightning effects. And this figure kind of grew on me anyways, and plus he was easier to find. So yeah. Start at the head sculpt. So if you didn't know, by the way, this costume that he has in the movie, there's no muscle padding. The Rock worked out a lot, and I think he worked out so much they had to adjust the suit to make sure it actually fit him. So, and in terms of McFarlane, since they don't really have like the photo real tech, they usually just do it by hand. This is a pretty good look for The Rock. I feel like a lot of times with live action stuff, it can be a hit or miss with McFarlane, but a lot of times they do work well when there's like a mask or something, because you just really have to work on the eyes and the mouth. But for what this is pretty good, and even Cyclone's head sculpt's not bad. Which hopefully I will get her soon. I also want to get Sabak. So, but yeah. So yeah, he's got a pretty good head sculpt, and then of course you've got the big lightning logo. So there's that. And I mean, that's all you need to know is the Shazam logo. Obviously surrounded by a black suit. It's nice, and it has like a kind of a glow effect. Doesn't actually glow in real life though. And then the suit's nice in texture and everything. You can clearly see the lines all over this suit, even on the back. It's just really well done. And then you got like this brown strap here. I don't know if you can see that. It's like right here. There's like a brown rope there for some reason. And then he's got like these gold gauntlets with something on his hands, and they're all nicely sculpted and shaded on both hands. Although they actually vary. The 2 gauntlets are different, and then you got the nice gold belt, which is all shaded and sculpted really nicely, and then you have these gold boots, again, really nicely painted. And honestly, when I got this figure out of here, there was something about it that like I really, really liked immediately as soon as I got it out. And it possibly is because I've seen the movie, so like I know the action scenes, and I love the movie. That's just my opinion. But yeah, so I guess we get into articulation. So his head can look up that far, so he can get into good fight poses. He can go that far down, look side to side, can tilt pretty well. And it can kind of shift back and forth. He's got that normal McFarlane kind of dumbbell joint in the shoulder. Shoulder can move out that far. Got a bicep swivel, double jointed elbows. This elbow on here is a little loose for me, so I'm keeping an eye on that. But it doesn't seem like there's anything wrong with it. He's got the usual. Actually, he's got different wrist system than most McFarlane. It's like it's just got a wrist swivel and a hinge in and out. Usually, a lot of times McFarlane will have a like the wrist where you can hinge in and out, and then you can turn the ball between the hinge and the arm, and then you can go up and down. So actually, I kind of prefer this. It looks better. He's got upper diaphragm joint that allows him to go that far forward, this far forward, that far back. It can go side to side, and it can twist. And then this one also allows him to go even further, and it allows him to go back. Of course, you could get a little gappage there, and it can turn and kind of lean a little bit. The leg doesn't really kick out much. Yeah, his leg doesn't really kick out much. That's because of this here, but I'm not really worried about it. That far back. Can also kick outwards. Got a bit of a swivel. Double jointed knees. No boot rotation, but his ankle could go that far backward, that far forward, and he's got ankle pivot. I think the joint on the feet, though, are the normal ones where you can turn it and do a different direction. And then, of course, he's got toe articulation. No, there is no eyebrow articulation for The Rock. But, I mean, hey, there's some, customizer out there. Maybe you can make a customized head sculpt with The Rock doing the eyebrow thing for this figure. Never know. But, I mean, obviously you can kind of see in the background there that I do have action figures that I could use to compare, but there's no DC ones. So I don't know if I should really compare it. But overall, I think this is a very enjoyable figure. Eventually, I might get him a flight stand. So I want to see if I can get him into some of those cool poses while on flight. Just the right one. I think that's the right one, yeah. Hell, even if it's just, like this, but he's in flight, he's flying. I will say that if you're doing the thing that I'm doing where you have it kind of going up his arm instead of, shooting outward, one of these is kind of tighter. It's got to go in through the top and then wrap it around his arm. But it should look pretty good. So, yeah. And it looks better even with the light. So, and it actually looks like it's glowing. But, so yeah, if you enjoyed this review, please let me know. Let me know what you thought of the figure. And, yeah, I mean, if you want to, you can let me know what you think of the movie. But, yeah. So I hope to see you in the next one. Hopefully the next one is either Cyclone or a Marvel Legend. I do not know yet. I will probably go for a Cyclone because that'd be nice. I've been after the movie. I want to complete that team. Unfortunately, I'm not going to get the Hawkman simply because the wings just don't spread out. Even though he was my favorite character that came out of that movie. So, but I will see you in the next one. Peace.